breaking news here. Stocks all around the world are tanking because of the crisis
gives you an indication
on Wall
of how
Street.
jittery the markets are.
How to repair your credit, how to increase your credit score, get out of debt.
Hey, this is the Credit Whiz Kid here with CreditAmbassador.com. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something I feel you should know. You have to know because it's just interesting. I mean, you know, we're hearing a lot now. You know, we're starting to hear the truth. It's the 21st century, and a lot of the banks and a lot of the credit bureaus, they still use the old 20th century rules and regulation to really police us in what we do. And of course, all I'm about doing and all Credit Ambassador wants to do is teach you how to make the system work for you instead of against you. And what do I mean by system? Well, think about the United States of America as a corporation. A basic system just like a credit report or a credit bureau. Now, America's a beautiful country, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of advantages. You can come in here, have no financial backing, you know, be average Joe the plumber, and really make something of yourself in America if you can make the system work for you instead of against you. The problem is America has gotten to a habit of bankrupting the country every 10 years, going into a recession, and a lot of people get caught up in that, and because of their lack of knowledge and understanding of the credit bureaus and the system and how it works, they ended up having the system work against them. And one of the biggest things I know is if you understand the history of who you're working with and what you're working with, you know, you'll have a better understanding of how to make the system work for you. Here's a quick fact. The credit bureaus were started in 1899. The first credit bureaus were the retail credit service industry. Now this was even started before the Federal Reserve System in 1913. So that means the banks, and in 1899, in the 1800s, there was almost 800 banks at this point in time. And that was a long time ago. That's over 100 years now. And in 1899, this is when the credit bureau started to gather and collect information on people. And from 1899 till 1974, the credit bureaus went unregulated in regards to specifically the rights that consumers have. Now, a lot of people, you know, oh, I have rights and I can do this and I have the right to free speech. You know, we were taught a lot in high school and college about our basic rights, but we all know that we turn 18, we get credit. We turn, you know, 20, we get more credit. But by the time we're 24, we're usually so far in debt that the next 10 to 20 years are already planned out credit-wise for us. But the fact of the matter is the credit bureaus went through a lot of change internally. They influenced a lot of laws that directly influenced what we're into today. And by understanding the past, we can actually, you know, gain a greater understanding of the future. And it's crazy that in 1899, the credit bureaus were basically a retail service company that was known as ACB Credit. And they were a collaboration of all the retail companies, all the banks, just gathering as much information as possible. It was even said, again, you can substantiate a lot of these facts. Just go to Wikipedia and look up the names of these credit bureaus. Wikipedia will show you this stuff, you know what I mean? But you go to 1899 till 1974, and they went unregulated. And then our government, big strong government, comes in there and saves us, right? Big Brother's always been there looking out for us, right? No, not exactly. Because in 1974, the rules and the regulation, or the rights, again, another word for regulation, if you don't know, is rights. And the rights that they gave us, you know, of course, helped us a little bit. You know, some of the things could help us, but they were mainly influenced by lobbyists and people who were able to understand the credit industry themselves. And that's crazy that, you know, we went so many years without actually having any understanding, because I know my dad was alive before 1974, and I'm sure, you know, your parents were too. So these people had no rights, no understanding of what their credit was and what they could do. And it's funny that the same company that helped influence those laws in 1974, the retail credit service industry, to ensure, you know, that they changed their name to Equifax. They got a $2 million fine, but by changing their name, they became a new company that obeyed the laws and enforced the laws. So really, it makes you wonder, like, if you are able to influence your own laws and regulation, and the credit bureaus are able to, use the system to work for you, why can't I use the system to work for me? And you can. And that's what our program is here to teach you. We want to make sure that we target, like I said, the entire industry to your situation. And I think just understanding how the credit bureaus work, understanding that, you know, the retail credit service industry turned into Equifax. Equifax, eventually influenced TransUnion, and then over the last, 10 to 20 years have been the most volatile years in regards to regulation and rights. A lot of things have benefited us, but a lot of things have also benefited the corporations. And if you're going to be the only person that sits back and doesn't do anything to understand what your rights are, then the system is only going to benefit off of your lack of knowledge. So I just wanted to sit back and say, hey, think about the industries that you work in. They're always going to improve. These are for-profit corporations that make money off of gathering your information. Way back in 1974, before they actually started regulating it, they used to gather information on your drinking habits, your gambling habits, if you had to walk to go to work, if you didn't work out, if you had multiple children. They would use any information they could to influence your credit file. So again, they're openly a for-profit corporation using that information to their own advantage. And that's what we're doing in our kit. We're giving you the finer points on credit repair, on the debt negotiation, on rebuilding your credit, and at the end of the day, actually going forward and getting financing. Because, if you learn all this, you have to go to the next step. So either way, this is just a friendly reminder and something that I hope, intrigues you to want to learn more about the credit bureaus and what they do on a day-to-day basis. Again, they've been around for over 100 years, but so is your family. And it's high time that you step up as the one person in your family to really make a change, not only in their credit score, but in their way of thinking. This is just my free tip for today, my personal opinion. Take it for what it's worth, and thanks for watching this video.